Hello and welcome back to another live stream session. We are extremely excited to be here. This is the TCEA Live Stream Q&A this afternoon. So thank y'all so much for joining us. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to jump right on in with our first guest that we have here. Actually, let me just show you who's all here with us. So we have Laura Hunt over here. We have Letitia Guzman. And we also have, there she is, Sarah Laughlin. Now, the other guy that you are seeing but not seeing is going to be Travis Braw, but he will be here on demand. So you'll see that here in a minute. So, all right. So let's go ahead and we'll get going. Our first, and just so a little recap about a little recap about TCEA and what that's all about. So that is the Texas Computer, wait, before we get going, does anybody know what TCEA stands for? What it stands for? You can bring that mic.
Computer Education Association.
But that's pretty good. So
Yes.
well, you can bring the mic closer to you. There we go. I did not. There we go. Perfect. So just bring it. Yep. Come on in there. There you go. Texas Computer Education Association. That's pretty good. Yep. Then yes, there is Sarah Laughlin on the ones and twos. On the ones and twos. All right. So here we go. So we're gonna go ahead and, like I said, this is a technology conference where teachers are able to go to and attend, and administrators and everybody else too as well, and learn some amazing things that they can utilize and do in the classroom. And there's lots of guests, teachers, when it comes to using technology in the classroom, lots of different teachers, lots of different presenters out there. So these people here, wonderful ladies, are here to share some of their learning of what they learned while they were down at TCEA. Okay, here we go. First up, like I said, we have Sarah Laughlin. So go ahead, Sarah. I'm going to bring you up on screen, and you can go ahead and start sharing away.
Okay. I do have to say thank y'all very much for letting me attend TCEA. That is a great conference to go to. If you ever have the opportunity to go, please jump on that. If you're interested in it, go ahead and start hitting Willie up for next year and Brian, because it is definitely a great opportunity. We had a great group that we went with. The conversations we had at lunches, great Thai restaurant, by the way, lunches and dinners. It was just a lot of fun. And the dynamics of who we went with made the conference even better, in my opinion, because of just the conversations we were able to take. I know Miss Guzman and Miss Hunt were talking about things that they're like, okay, we'll start here at the intermediate. You carry it over at the junior high. And it was just really good. There were multiple different sessions that you could attend and go to. And that's one thing. I mean, you are moving and going. You wear comfortable shoes so you can keep going. One that I really thought was interesting, it was called Integrating Podcasting in Your Classroom. And one thing like Laura and I talked a lot about was like, okay, how can we bring some of the things for some of our higher students? But then looking at this, I was thinking any of our kiddos would love this. In fact, I've downloaded some of these podcasts for us to ride in the car and have conversations with my kids. One was like, what if world? And it's that kids could even send in like what ifs into the writer, and the writer would then take that what if and expand it into the story and make it a big paper, make it into a big podcast that he could listen to. And then the presenter also said what you could do as a teacher is write what if have the kids write what if on the paper, write a couple sentences, get it, wrap it up in a snowball, throw it in the middle. Everybody gets it. And then they get another what if, and then they continue on that writing. I know a lot of our teachers struggle with students finding things they enjoy writing about, or they get bored with writing. And so what are some fun things you could look at and do the what ifs? But they also said it's cool because they have people write in to the writer. And so they get their kids to send things in for the what ifs. Another one was forever ago. And I've got some of my history students in the classes in 4th, 5th, and 6th. They're like, why do you think they invented this? Or what was this? One of the things they brought up was like, why did they make toilets? And they're like, oh, but kids would like reading and listening to that and get intrigued about it. And so finding some of these fast podcasts that they can talk about, but then write about or find, okay, what do there was one, but Smash Boom Best. So it was like
That's
Ghost
good.
versus Zombie, Spider-Man versus Batman. It had great debates in it. They said it's great for family road trips too. But you've got some of these kiddos where they may finish their work. They could listen to one of those and then debate which one they preferred. Book club for kids. I know some of our 6th grade teachers were talking about what, I wish our kids could have some kind of book club or get interested in different books and find more books that they enjoy. That I thought was really good. Mars Patel. It's a mix between Spy Kids and Stranger Things. Now, I've never seen Stranger Things, but I know a lot of our 6th grade kiddos and older love Stranger Things. I know my kids like Spy Kids, the movie, when they were younger. So I thought, man, this is really cool. So then they were talking about looking at these podcasts, reading them. I mean, not reading them, watching them, but then also making their own podcast. So make sure they develop a plan of like what it looks like. Going in and just talking. They're like, oh, but people just get on podcasts and talk. Well, yes, but they've had years of practice doing this, or they're used to doing this. Right. So sometimes they have to write out a script, because once you hear yourself, you're going, why did I say that? What'd I do? And then they get a little bit more self-conscious, and then have a little area where they have a recording area in the room. Now, that doesn't mean it has to be a tent thing or a spot. I know in Laura's room, she actually has just like her, a chair is kind of turned in the corner with a little speaking area. So just be creative in where you find that and what you do. Older kids do a flip QR code where they share it and they can add to it and do things. So I don't know. I thought that was really cool. And I had many ideas come from that you could do at all levels that a lot of kids would enjoy and bring a different element to your classroom.
I think that's pretty awesome. I know that there are several different places for our students to be able to record their own podcast now. And I love that you threw in the script part.
Yes.
That brings in all those different ELAR teaks, ARLA teaks, a bunch of letter teaks that are in there for students to be able to, lots of cross-curricular in there. Doesn't just have to be, reading, or they can do it in math and science, stuff like that. So I think that's pretty neat. I know, like I said, Laura does, they do some flip with their podcasting thing too as well. And then I think one of the big ones, I'm just, y'all know me, kind of partial on this stuff, but Adobe just came out with theirs, and we'll be doing a whole thing on that and how they can edit too as well. So that's pretty neat. So I love the podcast. What else you got for us, Sarah?
Okay. The other thing I have is I also went to a Matt Miller, I went to one of Matt Miller's sessions. And he came to our campus, oh gosh, it's been several years now, and he was great. And the thing is, he's still teaching Spanish at a high school. So he is right there in the classroom doing things. And I cannot go through all these links. I mean, all these different things he had for us. So I'm going to, if you're able to, if you want the link, let me know, because he shared this with us and he goes, this is for anybody. You can use it. It's got tons of things on here. One thing I want to show you is there was one with digital content right there. And it just shows like, hey, here's different digital content lessons. Now I know we have to make sure it's okay with our gurus, but then there was also, hold on, I'm going to page 25. I know there's a lot of times when teachers are talking about, oh my gosh, I'm trying to get them to write, but I just can't think of what to have them do. Because if you're like me, you're like, oh, my brain's a little fried by the end of the day. I'm getting tired. I'm trying to write my lesson plans out. Here were different sentence stems that you could use. And I thought, oh, it's so nice. I think I was in a 6th grade PLC one day and they're like, we just wish we had different things that we could just pull from sometimes. So we're like, we can think of things, but it'd be nice to have just new ideas. So I thought, here we go. Here's some sentence stems. What a great way to do that. And I know Trish Tynes was 6th grade. She does a reading board, a book board, where they have to do different, like an article or a magazine, a book, newspaper article. So this gives them a choice board. Now, this one that I'm showing right now is one for social, like a social studies class, but it was talking about just different creative ways to do, choice boards. And then if you look here at the bottom, it says explore boards with Holly Clark. So there's her website there and how she does and so she had a great website to show you different ideas. So I'll do that one. That was fast. That's the explore boards there at the bottom. But please, if you have time to go back and look, he had great content, great little icebreakers you can use, good start like sentence structures to start writing with and sentence stems. So I liked that. All right, I'm wrapping it up. I didn't think 10 minutes would last to
Man,
go through this fast. Here
you got
I
a lot of
am.
stuff. I do like the templates.
I spoke too
Those are
soon.
cool. Yeah.
All right, on the other slide, what I have is just productivity tools. The CuraPod, most people have seen that, but let me tell you, if you have time to go in there, classroom screen, I'm sure several of y'all have seen this. Hold on, I went ahead and logged in so I could do that. If y'all haven't seen this, is some people, I remember in elementary school at the old elementary, they had the red light on, and I was sitting there and I didn't talk back then, but Michael and Monica were sitting between me and they were talking, but I was one that had to go stand in the corner because the light was red and I was mortified. But anyway, so I'm kind of against the traffic light, so I'm going to get rid of that one. But I do like a timer where you can set a timer. I like a clock, so I know what time it is during the day, so I can do that. Like, oh my gosh, I don't like this picture. So, you can, oh, hold on. That's not where I want to go. Anyway, some of y'all have seen this. This is really cool. You can add different things in here, different images. You can write stuff in. You can change the background. Like, oh, let's go to the mountains. Here we go. Oh, nope, I'm in spring mood. So if you're trying to figure out something fun to put on your board, but you got a timer, you want to do a sound level, you can do a sound level like, okay, guys, I don't want it to get past. Oh, it turned red. That's too loud. We're going to have to change it. So anyway, that's Fast and Furious. Now, brain breaks. This was cool. I know sometimes our kids finish up with interims, the ones that finish up interims, or they finish doing their must-dos and may-dos, and they're kind of sitting there and you're thinking, what am I going to have them do? So here are 3 different brain breaks. One was like a hidden gem where it's like finding pictures within a picture and you had to click on them. And let's see. Okay, here's a hidden antique shop. We'll see if this comes up fast. Play. And again, these are just brain breaks that the kids can do. You can even do them just for fun. You have to go through the ads. Sorry. Come on. This worked last night just fine. Oh, here we go. It's loading. All right. So then you push play. Come on, guys. Here we go. We're going to do level 1. Maybe.
I mean, it definitely is a break. It's
It is.
It's okay, though.
Okay. So see, we're looking for the clock. We're looking for the horse. Oh, here's the horse. I click on it. And you try to beat, you can set a timer for yourself. And it's just a brain break. That's all it is. It's something fun to do. The other one I liked was the quick draw with Google. And they have to, Google will guess. So I have to draw a spoon. Oh my, the sound's not on. There.
Or potato. Or moon. Oh, I know. It's spoon.
So then ice cream.
I see circle. Or moon. Or spoon. Oh, I know. It's ice cream.
Okay, how does he know it's ice cream? I don't even know what I draw half the time. But the kid, it's like it gives you so many pictures in such an amount of time, and you have to do it. And if you're like, oh, I'm running out of time, and it'll ding you. So I thought, oh, they get sucked into this and doing it for a little bit. And I'm just thinking some of those kids that are creative or have time and are able to do that. That's something easy, fast for teachers to be able to pull up, get them on, and they could enjoy. So
All right.
there we go.
Well, thank you for sharing all that. That's a lot. There's, like I said, a lot of different sessions, a lot of different things hitting you all at once at TCEA, and you pull out some really good things. So
I do have to brag on y'all because I was at one session and they were talking about how the technology department, it's a big district and all the things they were doing, and y'all have been doing so many of those things. And I'm
good.
And they had a department, and for the amount of people that y'all have helping the whole district, good job.
All right, let's go ahead and replay that again. And
you can pay me later, Willie.
Oh man, well, thank you so much, Sarah. I appreciate that. You sharing out with us here. I'm gonna go ahead. We're gonna bring up Laura now. So Laura Hunt, she teaches 5th grade, and I always get this wrong. I know it's science.
It is science.
It's the other one knows.
It's reading right now.
Reading. That's
Yep.
right.
And
right.
I have the innovation class, and so we just do crazy stuff all the time.
Crazy.
All the classes. Yeah. So, like Sarah, I loved being at TCEA. I totally geeked out the whole time. Like she said, we were just like, oh my gosh, did you go to this? Oh my gosh. So definitely, if you have a chance to go. I saw so many good things. I went to the podcast one that you went to, and I loved it. I know a lot of my students listen to those already. And so if you have any questions about podcasting, you should ask us, because it's a good thing. But I think the favorite thing that I saw and I felt like was most applicable to pretty much any grade level and any content was using POV in the classroom. And it's so funny, if Heather Kane is watching, we had a student last year who always, he was like obsessed with memes, and he would just pop up and be like, POV when you're a Roman soldier in 1200 AD, and he would just say random things. But POV is really a good tool. So I want to kind of recap the ideas and everything in here. I totally got from the slideshow that we will see the link for at the end. And I think Willie has it too. He's going to share it. It's these couple of really amazing people from Irving ISD, and they put this together. But so using POV, point of view, if you don't know what that is, it's really a good thing in the classroom and for our kids, because they're able to take on another person's point of view, which means that not only do they understand their own ideas about it, but they can understand why someone else would, think differently about it, or how they would feel about it. So they're really having to understand the topic, but also how other people feel about it and how they would identify it and things like that. So it's cool. So let me show you. I like it because you can use all of these cool technology apps. And I really like to try to use that in the classroom as much as I can, because it's fun for me, and it's got to be fun for me if I want to do it. So I want to show you some examples of how they used all of these things. First of all, meme production. And the way that they presented this, I know I have my kids, they can submit a meme and we'll put it on the wall, and they love that. But I like these because they are specifically about content. So these are obviously higher, but they use these as warm-up. So they'd have them on the board when the kids came in. And I mean, kids love to argue, right? I mean, I have my own kids love to argue at home. I don't know. And so, if they walk in and rename baseball nub into a baseball square, so they're going to pick something and then they're going to argue it, and they're going to have to explain, using evidence. So I can see math, I can see reading, we just finished argumentative text. So this will be a great way to just get them talking about any kind of concept. You could put a shape up there, like rename this from a triangle to a whatever, and say why it would be. So it really is a good way to kind of get them thinking about topics and identify what they know about it, to put that into words. CER is claim, evidence, reason, I think. Yes. I don't teach the higher levels. So, but I know, is that right? Yeah.
We'll look it up.
I have a high schooler. So I thought this was cool. They used X, formerly known as Twitter, right? And they had students take on the role of this guy, S.C. Calhoun, really John Calhoun from South Carolina, and South Carolina seceded first in the Civil War. And so they did this series of tweets, and they have to keep them within the 120 characters or whatever it is. And so they had to do their claim and their evidence and their reason as this historical figure.
Oh.
So like, how did they feel about, so like the claim was, yeah, controversial opinion, but the main cause of the Civil War was slavery, right? And so it's how he would have said that. And then what is his evidence for that? And then what is his reason? So it was really cool to kind of put them in perspective of a person from that time period and how they would have felt about whatever it was. You could do this with book characters. I mean, I don't know that a kindergartner could do like a Twitter, a tweet, an X, whatever they're called now. But some of our older kids really enjoy things like this already. So like even elementary age, they'll do it. So I thought it was neat, and really having to get them thinking about that event or that topic from a different person's point of view was cool.
I mean, just using that, like you said, with the thinking part, we're always talking about, BTC, we're talking about kids showing their knowledge, showing their thinking, expressing thinking. I think that's a great way. And it's something that's relevant to them. Even I'm going to tell you, even your younger kids are probably going to know what Snap and all that stuff and
100%.
all those things. So that'd be pretty cool. And you're right. It is claim, evidence, reasoning.
Thank you. Yes.
We fact checked her online. That's what we do here. So.
Okay. Another one I thought, this is kind of more accessible for younger, I feel like, is Yelp. anyway, they put these are like the Alamo and Hogshead Inn. So you put these places in, and people, they can either write a review of that place. So like I give the Alamo, 4 out of 5 stars, and they have to give their reasons, like why did they enjoy that trip? Or they talked about giving a place a bad review and having the students be like the PR team for the Alamo or whatever it is, and they have to spin it and they have to say, okay, but why was this good? Like, why should you go visit the Alamo? Which I think would be really cool, especially for an event or a place that most people have, it gets a bad rap.
Mhm.
Like, what are the good things about this? I thought that was neat. And then they have to give evidence. So that was cool. And then this one, especially for your younger kids, guess who?
Love that game.
I know. And you always wanted like the same characters, right?
Yes.
So I have a couple of these in my classroom just as guess who, and the kids those are always the first to go. If you make it as a teacher, it would take some more like time on the front because you'd have to come up with the different, say you're doing the planets or the solar system. Each of the cards could be like a different planet or stars. But, the kids have to come up with the questions, is your object a planet? And they would have to know. So it'd be a really good way. You could do book characters, you could do shapes, you could do types of slope, however the parabola looks based on the equation. Like there's tons of stuff. And really what would be good, I think, is if you could have the kids create the cards that go in there. I mean, with all of our digital stuff, they could create it easily that way. To fill in, just have a template where they put the pictures in. You could do it literally with any topic. So
That's pretty cool.
I thought it was great. There's one on there, and I didn't know if I could show videos or not, but like I said, I have 3 teenagers of my own, and they like to get on TikTok, and I like to watch TikToks through Instagram because that's what the adults do.
Oh, yeah.
But the TikToks now where they're like, I'm an elementary school teacher. Of course I'm going to drink all my coffee and whatever it is. So in this bit.ly, if you'll go into it, they do one about Pride and Prejudice. It's Mr. Darcy. And so Elizabeth Bennet and Mr. Darcy. And it does the chatter pics where you can take the picture, but just the mouth moves. Yeah. And so it's the kids doing the voices. And he's like, of course I'm Mr. Darcy. I'm going to blah, blah, blah. And then it'll show her like, of course I'm Elizabeth Bennet. My mother's going to blah, blah, blah. So I don't know. It was nerdy, but it was super cool. Yeah. And so the kids had to put themselves in the characters. So
I mean, that's happening right now.
Exactly. Right now.
So that's pretty cool.
So yeah, that was
that trend.
My favorite thing at TCEA.
Then the next one will probably be, Beyonce singing some type of another country song, and they'll be doing that too as well.
There you go.
Yeah.
Sorry,
there. Cool. All right. So is that is that it?
Yeah, that was my favorite one.
I know. There's so many. So we asked them to narrow down as much as they could the things that they were going to share. So it was tough. So thank you so much for that. Are there any other comments on that about what she shared?
Like I got these squirrels that run in my brain. So if you are, I know I showed a lot of like higher, I feel like POV stuff, but if you are teaching the younger grades and you are wondering how to do that, like please ask me because I have so many ideas and I teach 5th grade. But it's in here. So just ask me.
Just ask her.
And I will look crazy. The squirrel will run.
Here's the deal, guys. They're right here, right locally, right here in your district. So that's pretty cool. All right. Next up, we have Miss Letitia Guzman. She is a teacher at the junior high. So over here, she teaches math. So welcome, Letitia. Let's get you on the screen here. And there's your slides. So let's see what you got.
Yeah. So again, like these young ladies that are sitting next to me, TCEA was an amazing event. And just going to the sessions, I kind of honed in on AI. And so that's what I'm going to talk about today. But I have to say that I had such a good time. There were so many sessions that I wanted to sit in, but I kind of got fixated on AI, artificial intelligence. And since I'm like an old, I'm used to Dewey Decimal System and non-techie things, I figured out, well, I'm going to be in this profession for a few more years, and I better figure out how to use AI in the classroom to help my students out. And again, apologies for my voice, but I'm losing it because of all the apologens and stuff that are in the air. But I really want to just kind of talk about how we can use AI in education, and then how not only teachers, but how students can possibly use it and, what it would look like in a classroom. So one of the things, or one of the sessions that I went to was, well, there was two. There was one taught by Leslie Fisher, who is a dynamic speaker. So if you ever get a chance to see her, she is fabulous. And then there was another one by Matt Miller, who is, okay, I'm like a huge fan now. I can't wait to read more about him.
Yeah, those
And
are
what
two
he's-
big time people.
Yeah,
That's amazing.
amazing. So, the first one was for the AI, being consumers or being a consumer versus creator. In the classroom, when we use AI, we don't want to use it to create like a lazy assignment, like the life of a frog, or how to create. I don't know. I mean, it can be used across all of the curricular items, but we want to make certain that we create assignments that the kids are going to use AI for research rather than duplicating or creating something that that the kids don't have to think about. So I really liked how they said, hey, you can't make a lazy assignment. They want to make sure that you're encouraging creativity, critical thinking in the classroom. And then we want to use it as a resource to collaborate. And, as a teaching aid, it can be like a teaching or a coach, and as a feedback tool. So one of the things that I noticed that most of the sessions talked about was how you can use it in an ARLA classroom. And I thought it was really interesting how they can use it to create research projects. And it wouldn't be like, okay, I'm going to research like the lifetime or the life of a horse. It would be something like, okay, give me 3 facts about the horse. Give me 3 facts about, what they eat. Give me 3 facts about another topic or characteristic. And then the students would have to take that information and bring it together and create their own paper from the AI generated items. So I thought that was very interesting because when I think of AI, I'm like, oh, kids are going to type in something, right? And then they're going to get an answer. And then that's what they're going to put down on paper. And I think that's what most of us as instructors and educators are afraid of, is that they're going to copy that and then turn the product in. Well, AI can be used as a tool to enhance their learning and their creations. Let's see. We could also talk about how it can help in the math. And I started thinking about that because that really piqued my interest. How would I use an AI? How would I use AI in the math class? And I thought, well, if I have students that are struggling, they could use it as a coach. If and when we get that AI product in the classroom, they could go, if I was busy helping another group, they could go and research or to ask, hey, what are the steps on how to solve a 2-step equation? Or, hey, I'm stuck on this problem. What can I do next? So I thought that was a helpful tool. They can also use it to, to think about those higher level questions. How does it relate to real world situation? Because we all have students in our classrooms that ask us about, okay, well, when am I going to use this in real life? And I thought that would be a great tool for them to, type in and figure out on their own. And not only that in the classrooms, but it can also help us out. It can help us in creating our lesson plans, which is going to free up our time to dig even deeper into our curriculum. It can also help us as educators writing quizzes. It can also help with sending parent letters. So if we're responding to a parent and we're not sure what to say, and I don't know about you guys, but I'll sit there and I'll type, and then I just kind of like let it sit. And I'm like, oh, I don't know if that sounds good or not. Well, we can use AI to help us write that letter so it doesn't sound snarky, or it's at the level of discussion of whatever it may be. But I really liked how they explained that we have to, or both of my presenters explained, how we have to embrace this tool as educators and not be afraid of it. And then we need to also look in the lens of like a tomorrow glass, which means that we're creating students who are going to be working in a workforce that we might not even know what their jobs are going to be in the future. So by giving them these tools and by them able or being able to utilize and embrace these tools, we're going to help them be more productive and, be, well, we're going to help them be more productive when they get their jobs, because that's what they're going to be working with later on. I don't know. I thought that all of the artificial intelligence tools that we have need to be utilized in the classroom. And, I can't wait till we get those tools so that we can help our students, create and embrace, that type of learning.
It's funny because, there was a lot. There was a lot of talk about AI. It's a technology conference. That's what you're going to see and hear and things like that. So, like she was talking about being able to use it more as an assistance to help jump off and get those ideas flowing within our teachers, within our students, being able, and not just here it is, I'm going to copy it, I'm going to paste this in here and just call it a day, but help you to actually analyze and think those things out. So I do like that. I know we're as a school district ourselves trying to make sure that we are moving forward too when it comes to utilizing, helping teachers and students understand the ins and outs of AI and using it ethically and using it responsibly and stuff like so. We actually we're rolling out some things here in a little bit and utilizing actually a kind of almost like a Schoology for AI through Magic School AI. It's funny, Schoology for AI, Magic School AI. So those are one of the things we've been looking at to kind of help teachers and students in a more safe environment to be able to understand and manage that. So we'll be talking more about that here down the road, a couple of weeks. Teachers out there, so yeah. So I know that you can't throw a rock without hitting AI. It's just anymore. It's right there out there for you.
There is one more slide if I can
present
that.
Keep
The
going,
one that so this was brought up by Matt Miller, and using the class, or what is cheating in the classroom, what is okay, AI creation versus human creation. And I need to pull that up as a slideshow, right? Is that better?
Yeah,
Okay.
There it is. Mm-hmm.
So one of the things that that caught my eye is this continuum of like AI creation versus human creation, and how these items here listed in that continuum, how we as teachers can figure out what we would utilize, or what that AI/student created item would look like. What do we expect them to use? How much of it can be AI? How much of it can be, student created? And so this kind of made me go, like the one in the middle here, student creates content until stuck. And then it asks AI for help to get unstuck. And I thought, well, that would be, a proper usage, or at least in my opinion, it would be a proper usage of using AI. But then the one that says AI, does all the student work for them with no student or with no thought, I thought, okay, yeah, that definitely would not work in any classroom, I think, on any of our campuses. But, it's just it's such a useful tool, and it's an untapped tool, I think, right now. And it's the wave of the future. And, just to embrace it and try it out, and, see how we as educators can help our students become more proficient in that tool of the future.
Well, I tell you, it is something that there is no silver bullet for. Like we don't know 100%. It's still growing. It still is changing each and every day. We're just doing our best to help manage that and get to a proper and a good use of that. I do like the one in the middle about the AI guide students through the writing process as a coach.
Right.
So then you start thinking about that second brain part, because there's only one of us in that classroom, but to help them when we're not available at that particular moment, to help continue to grow their learning and teaching them how to analyze that. I think it's going to be really, really fortunate for us in the future as we continue to grow with this. So, all right. Anything else from our panel, from our TCA attendees?
It was awesome.
Yeah,
was
it
awesome.
was amazing.
It was awesome.
Very good.
Yeah.
All
I'm
right.
very thankful that I had an opportunity to join my fellow colleagues.
Well, good. So what I'm gonna do here. So let's see. He was not able to make it. Let me come back over here. Mr. Bra here. Let's go back over here, and I'm gonna play his video now. I'm just gonna go in here with this. So apparently Travis and Sarah were blown away by the session because there's a little bit of what same
Oh, the
thing
Matt
is in
Miller
there.
one? Yes.
So I'm gonna play that, and after that, guys, thank y'all so much.
I really enjoyed getting to attend TCEA. It was a great opportunity to learn, to grow, to see how technology can be used both in the classroom and as a whole throughout a campus. There were lots of vendors there showing different technology, different products that can be used. And one person that I really enjoyed getting to see, I actually saw him in 2 different sessions, was Matt Miller. He presented a couple years back for us. He's the author of the book Digital Textbook. And he presented first about the use of artificial intelligence, how that's a continuum of, it can be helping students dig deeper in thought, all the way to substitute for thought, and the pros and cons and where on the continuum we would like to see students be. The other session was about teachers being efficient with their time, with their resources, and that's where I really landed here. First, he had a really good point within brain dumps. He's using research done by Washington University in St. Louis to show that brain dumps are a great way to foster retrieval of information. Ultimately, that it locks in the learning and really helps students solidify what they recall. A couple key points that he had about it was first that it was to be closed book, closed notes, just everything you can remember. It can be done at the beginning of class, it can be done kind of at the end of class, and that helps solidify the learning by using recall. Next, the research shows that engaging all students at one time, as opposed to just calling on one particular student, it is a big factor. The research shows the value of it being low stakes, not graded, but seeing what you can know and what you can learn, the focus, the emphasis being on not a grade, not the product, but the learning process. He really spent a lot of time talking about how it can be either written, it can be on a sticky note, it can be in their journal, their book, or it can be recorded using something like Flip, which we're familiar with. And lastly, the research shows that the feedback is important. If they wrote a bunch of stuff that doesn't apply, if it's not actually accurate, that doesn't end up helping at all. His entire presentation is available below at that ditch.link. The next thing is he talked a lot about reflection, and we talk about doing that, and it's a great idea, but without a lot of resource, I personally end up using the same questions over and over again. And so he has several sentence stems, reflection stems that he's provided. Those are displayed here. One that I really enjoyed is I wonder how it would go if I tried this. It's a way to foster that deeper thinking of, okay, this is the product that I got here, but what would happen if I did it a different way, if I attempted it from a different perspective? Obviously, some things work better in some content areas than others, but there's something here that each content can use.
All right. Well, guys, thank y'all so much for joining us today. Thank you to our wonderful guests that we have here from our multiple campuses. If there are any questions, guys, be sure to reach out to them. They are here to help guide you in the things that you're looking for. And we'll catch you next time on another episode of our another episode of a live streaming session where you can answer in some Q&A, get some Q&A answers and stuff that we're doing. So thank y'all very much.